friends, welcome back to my channel. And the last project we create this watercolor card as well as these envelopes, and today is time to create something else with the watercolor card. So let's jump into the process. If you don't watch my first video, go ahead and watch that video where I talk about the colors and paper. This is the Canson watercolor paper, and I just put one fold here and just snip it out to get this kind of heart shape. And now we will create a card out of it, and I will show you. We just need a little bit of marking here. Maybe we'll create this way. So we are just creating a little bit of small mark so that we have an idea that how our surface goes. I'm using Vincent watercolor as well as some of these metallic watercolor. And make sure to remove your pencil lines, because if you don't remove your pencil lines, that will show up after watercoloring it. Try to make it really less, like not a harsh lines, or you can use a really small pencil or just an impression of the pencil. Now I hope you can't see any lines there on the video, but in the camera, but we can. So now, last time we used the angle brush, this one. So today I'm planning to use the round brush. Most of the people have the round brush. So let's start with this silver black velvet color, and this one is number 2, and we already have this line. And rather than making pink card, we will go ahead and use our colors. In the first thing in this series, I talk about the colors also. I told all of the colors I'm using here and how I cut my paper. So I'll suggest you go ahead and watch that video also, so that you will get more ideas. So now I'm just using this purple, and I just put that in the palette somewhere, like maybe here. You can test the intensity of the colors you want. And then here we are making very simple card. I'm just creating these kind of blobs of water, and these are inside of that heart shape. So if you feel that you can't see the heart shape, I can draw a light line to it. And then I'm just putting these. So what I'm creating here is a very simple, and my brush is having lots and lots of water and less pigment. I don't want much sharp thing here. So after drying all of it, I will put more leaves on them, maybe with a different color. And this is the very simple way. I'm just talking like the first one is at least need some tricks, and you need some kind of practice maybe if you are not doing watercolor. But this one is pretty simple. You don't need anything for this. You're gonna just go with the flow, and you will get that thing done. So here now I'm just tracing those watercolor lines so that you can see where I'm going. And then I'm just going on each side. I don't want to speed up the process this time. I'm showing you the real-time process, and you can watch more watercolor techniques and cards on my channel. Now here's the thing, you don't have to specially stick with this to the Valentine theme only. You can go ahead and use this for any theme rather than making heart shape. If you make a circle, you can create a wreath, and you can create that wreath for any season, maybe the Christmas, maybe the Easter, and you just have to change the sentiment inside, and that will work for you. So here I'm just changing the directions because it's going now that way, and then I'm just moving my paper a little bit to get that direction done, so it will not overlap on each other. Here you can see that. And then I'm just putting those marks, and then we have to wait a little bit time for drying them. And if you are impatient, you can just use the dryer to dry it, but most of the times I just make them and let them dry for some time. That is my way of doing, but it's not like you have to do the same way. Now here inside in between we can add those sentiment, but now for the video purpose I think I should dry it fast with the help of this dryer. So in my opinion, dryer always give the harsh line. You can see that after drying it a little bit, you can see those harsh line, and some of part is still not dried properly, and I'm still okay with that. And now after doing this, we're gonna choose the same brush, and it is having a nice tip, you can see. But if you're not much comfortable, you can go ahead and choose like the 000 or 00 brush. And then I have a little bit of color there, so I'm just making that tip and showing you. And then here's the thing. Now you can go tone on tone effect and add a flowers with a purple on it, or you can choose the red or copper. That will also work. Always find out the opposite colors. If you want to use the color wheel, you can go ahead and use the color wheel. Here I'm just doing the simple techniques. I don't want to be like more professional or more such kind of things. Here we are just doing the things simple way, easy way, so everybody can do this. So now I have this shimmery color. I'm just picking that color, and I'm gonna put this color on the very corner of my palette here, so that I will not contaminate the original colors. And then whatever is left in this brush, I'm gonna just splatter it. I will add, I think, more splatter. So if you don't want to go ahead and make it more complicated, you're done with your card. You can see, yeah, thank you or happy Valentine's Day or anything you want inside it, happy anniversary, happy birthday, whatever works for you. But here I'm adding that color here. I'm choosing here 1 Newton Crimson Red, and then I'm adding that color to this shimmery color. So my shimmery color will just go down a little bit. And then here the thing, you can add the swirls, you can add the flowers. I'm planning to make a little flowers here, and how I make them, I'm just adding a little kind of swirls kind of stuff here. Like, you know, I'm just making one circle and just adding a little bit them. Did I add them on the same spot or a kind of similar fashion? No, I am not. Here I add 3, here I add 2, here I add 1. So why I'm doing that? I don't want the consistency and it's look more monotonous. That's why I'm doing that. And just give them little time to dry. And here I'm adding the bunch of 3, so they will act like a rose kind of. And you can go ahead and make in one swirl also, like this. Okay, and that will also work. You can make a smaller or bigger, totally depend how you want them. Or you can make a bunch of 3 everywhere, or you can just, you know, skip those. And then it's time to add a little bit of green. Now for the green, I choose the sap green color. I just mixed that sap green. Now remember, everything is wet, not wet, the flowers are wet. So whenever you're gonna strike with those flowers, they will catch a little bit of color from that flower. First of all, I'm just creating these kind of striky lines with them. And if it catch colors, don't worry. Watercolor is all about mixing the colors, right? That's why we love them, because they are transparent and they mix together. You can apply the same techniques gouache, but gouache will give you more opaque look. They will not mix that much. If you apply the same techniques with the acrylic colors, they will give you much more sturdy look. I can say sturdy in the sense they will not mix, and they will like give you a top on each layer. That is a different kind of look. That is also beautiful. I'm not saying that anything is not beautiful. It's totally depend what you have, but you can apply these techniques to anything, and you can create the simple clusters with anything you have. Now after doing this, if you feel that that is kind of going inside, you can just enhance them by repeating the colors. Now when I add this green stuff here, I will add more. Now I will change my color. I will add more darkish color. I add a little bit of black in the sap green, and then I'm again making those strikes. Now you have to remember, when you are making these strikes out of these flowers, you have to decide that which color strike you're gonna put the leaves, and other strikes will just add, enhance the greenery to your cluster. Now this time they are looking like a thorns, but they are not. And I already told you in my first visit, like, it is just a imaginary thing. I don't know this flower exists or not. So these are, I'm kind of pretending for the what do you say, now roses. Now here I'm adding more color, and now I'm taking the more intense color. I'll show you that I use the sap green as well as this emerald green, little bit of black, and now you can see the intensity of my this color. This color is pretty thin, and this is pretty opaque, you can say. So now it's time to add those leaves here. So with these small, now I'm putting tip of the brush. I'll just zoom it out more. I'm putting the tip of the brush here. So my tip of the brush is creating the tip of the leaf basically. And as I told you, I'm gonna skip some of these stuff, like these things which we draw, and I will keep some of them. Now you can choose anything which is looking good at that moment, or you can stick with the color. Like I choose this color to just for greenery and other color for the putting my leaves there. So it's totally depend on you how you want to do. You can do a big leaves like this also in between. Like here I want to use those big leaves things for this flower. Now you can see that these flowers are just kind of merging in the, these flowers is kind of merging inside those things. It's not going to pop up, so we need to make them pop by adding another colors. So now if you want to change the combination, what you can do, where we start with the purple, you can add there the yellow thing. So yellow is always settle down, cool down, tone down color, and then you can add orange on it, and or you can go orange and red on it. So it totally depends. Every time you change your color combination, you will get a different look, and you will be amazed, because we are doing here hand drawing things. It is not that the things are stamped. So every time you're gonna create it, every time you will get a different things. Now sometimes you get a different stroke because you're changing your brush strokes every time. So that is another thing. So that is another variety of it. Now I will go ahead and do all of this, and should I speed up the process or not, I'm kind of thinking, because I already said that I will not speed up the process. But I can do here is I will add that green afterwards, so that I will add more color to this reddish flower. So I go and get cadmium red and little bit of the, so I will show you which. So I will put this cadmium red as well as this permanent rose red in the same mixture we created before to get more intensity. And then maybe it's more watery, that's why. And then I'm just adding a little bit more there, so it will dry. And after drying that, we can add another layer of shimmer on it. Now you can skip the part where we add the purple things, and you can directly create these kind of blobs of roses there, or you can just skip all this part and you can have only these leaves and add another leaves with the shimmery colors. So you can do that also. Now I splattered all the golden, pink as well as green all over it, just like that. I will show you how I did. I just picked the color. This is Newton Coatman series watercolor with the shimmer, and you can stop here, you can write your sentiment, or you can put a sticker and you are ready to go. But if you want to add more, if I got a chance, what will I do? I'm gonna go take a really intense color. My brush is same, and then I'm gonna put just one dot there, a big blob of dot. So it is kind of giving me that center of the flower. It is kind of giving that illusion, and at that same time it is kind of popping out from the mixing and too much going on. And these colors, when they dry, they look really vibrant. Right now they are a little bit wet, so they are looking like the opaque, but when they will dry, they will give a really prominent dot. If you don't have this golden color, and you can just remaining color, you can just splatter here just like that. And if you don't have these colors, what you can do, you can just go ahead and any golden marker, Sharpie, use that to do the thing. Now for particularly this card, I can add the same sentiment what I added before, which is saying that with all my heart. And you can add anything. Most of the times, if it's a Valentine Day also, I don't like to put more of the I more like to put the generic sentiment like this, so that you know, they will use, and like you can use those cards full time, whole year, not only just for the Valentine, but it's kind of appreciating someone. So let it dry and we're gonna assemble it together. So this completes card. I thought that it's going too much. You can go a little bit lesser, or you can stamp a little bit smaller. You can just stamp thanks or something like that. But yeah, whatever made is made. I never gonna destroy it. I gonna just keep it and give it cause like that. So it's not yet dried, so I'm gonna keep it like that. And if you don't watch how I create these envelopes, particularly these cards, I go ahead and say watch the first one where I create this one cards. Now you can see that this one is a little bit more in subtle way, this is like more too much, so it's totally depend. We're going to make another one which is like in between both of these, and see you in the next project. And until then, have a crafty life. Bye bye.